reveals something about how algorithms see the world and what they hear when we play them our music. And that is what art is all about, isn't it? An artist molds their worldview so that it can be beheld at a distance and by some time by other people. And this gesture, I believe, grows much more valuable with age. Art is like an injection of pigment into the bloodstream. It stains the present into history. And the faster we move, the closer we approach a kind of singularity, even if you don't believe in that, the more essential each incremental marker along the way becomes. Currently, much of the development of algorithmic music is in this area of recurrent neural networks, trained on a rich storehouse of human input. Fed millions of MIDI notes, an algorithm infers how to hear and understand and emulate our music. What emerges from this process reflects our biases about what art is, which is predicated on our sensory experience, the ears and eyes and touch that computers do not yet have. I think it's almost exquisitely myopic to judge post-human art and post-human music on its ability to pass as human. And I think it's problematic to refine our algorithms using only human benchmarks of success. Artificial intelligence is likely to surprise us in its complexity, in its scope, in its capacity for beauty. And the question for me isn't whether music composed by machines can be as good as music composed by humans, but rather how it will be different. And if it is indeed different from what we consider right, existing, for example, in a state of continuous present, who are we to judge? Rather than assessing algorithmic music and art by its capacity to fool us, we might want to consider this music as a reflection of the artificial mind's unique aesthetic qualities, its perceptual experience, which should be as valid as any living thing. Rather than correct for it, we should indulge it, we should listen to it, we should encourage deviation. Perhaps the computer has an accent because it is a stranger in our world, and it is our job to welcome strangers. If we don't, algorithmic music might become like science fiction. It will say more about our present than about our future. It will say more about us and our sensory experience and our biases and our past as it does about them and their future. And for one, I think that's boring. I want to hear brand new music, don't you? When music is composed by machines solely for the joy of it, to express ideas inexpressible in their native programming languages, then I think we will know for certain that we have entered a new era. This is all speculation, of course, but I believe that once machines are invested in the composition of music, they will become invested in its appreciation. And when they are, they won't be listening to Bach or Bowie, maybe Bowie. They won't be listening to piano sonatas, and they won't be playing instruments designed around the constraints of human physiology. No, it will be their time to design a sound different from anything we have ever heard. This is a little bit of an old analogy, but the 19th century horror writer H.P. Lovecraft only ever wrote one proper science fiction story. It's called The Color Out of Space from 1927. It's about a small town in New England, in the US, suddenly hit by a meteorite, which falls from space and emits a color unlike anything anybody has ever seen. In fact, it's only by analogy that anybody can describe it as a color at all. And it drives everyone who looks at it mad. The color is, he writes, a frightful messenger from unformed realms of infinity beyond all nature as we know it. From realms whose mere existence stuns the brain and numbs us with the black extra-cosmic gulf it throws open before our frenzied eyes. In the end, it lays waste to the countryside and shoots back into the sky, unknown and unknowable. And I think that music composed by artificial intelligence should have a similar quality. Maybe not so violent, but it should disrupt the delicate electrochemical rhythms of the human brain. It should be a messenger of meaning too unfamiliar to understand. It should be strident, seemingly random, mathematical. Like the Musica Universalis of the ancients, it might not be audible at all. It might be simply the symphony of pure data. We should only be able to decipher it, like Lovecraft's color, by analogy. And although the need for such analogies is perhaps distant, it would serve us well to start thinking about them now. Because in the end, perhaps the only way to future-proof music To create something that will outlast us is to loosen our grip, and to understand that music may not be a bridge between intelligences, but rather a marker for the fiercely singular quality of mind. It may be a universal language, it may not be. It may just be a language among many. And if we are too proud or too afraid to consider these new dialects, we may find ourselves alone and friendless in a foreign future. Thank you.